Welcome back everyone to Main Sequence, and we're currently doing the playtest at the moment. In the first episode we did quite a lot. We first did the mining with our individual ships, showed that off. Then we started to build a space station. We also expanded that space station. We got into research. We managed to research drones, and then we also set the 2 sets of drones up. One's currently was mining water, which is just going to nickel now, and the second one is doing titanium. We've also automated the research at the moment, and then at the end of the episode we managed to get the power sorted as a temporary solution until we can go and build our second base, and that's what I want to be doing in this episode. So let's continue on from where we was in the last one. Research has finished on the shipyard, so that's fantastic. And what do we want to do next? We could put station armor on. I want to get into that, but I would need to do silica, which means I would need silica refining up here. Would that be the next best one? Solar panels would need the chips, so I do need to do that. I know there's some big, the large stations are over here. So we could do station deck, station elevators and go into these, because I do know these are very good, but that would need chips. So everything is telling me to go into basic chips. Requires silica, so we have to do silica next. Add that to the queue. But like I said, it isn't massive at the moment, the research tree. And as soon as you've done all the basic research, you don't need it anymore. You could take these machines up. So by the time you get round to something like advanced plates to get the better research, you don't really need it in this beginning playtest. So yeah, we'll go into silica, probably go into servo motors, try and do servo motors into research just to get it done a bit faster. So we're already 9% on silica. So yeah, I'm happy with that. What do I want to do next? Well, we've got the ship. Let's see what we need for that to build the ship station so we can start building our own ships. That will make out like getting ice a lot easier and all the other stuff. So, shipyards. What do I need to build a shipyard? And what's the difference between a shipyard, extending the size of the shipyard? No, it'd just be the core. So I need 10 all plates and 10 lightweights. Okay, so I've got a bit of an issue here. Oh, it's going in one port, coming out the other, so that's no good to us. So it's not actually taking anything out the machine. So I don't need that plate there. Let's redo this. Put a belt. Let's just do it like that. That's better. At least it's empty in this area now. There's a temporary solution. I'm just going to be putting another box here. And I need a titanium plate. Okay, so it's still making the hydrogen cells. Hydrogen's backed up on the belt here, and this machine currently is maximum. Don't think it will last until we get a solar panel, but as soon as we've got rid of all the ice, then we'll get rid of that box. And this one's just going to be stocking up with nickel until this machine's run out of nickel, and then I'll send it to go into silica or something like that. And then we can always feed the silica into this box here. Just get some basic stuff, make sure the drone's doing something in the meantime. This is stopped, so that means this machine is not making as many as it needs. Oh, there's actually some ports out the side there. Let's see if I can get a belt up there working. Can only do 2 and I would need 3 to do this. Never mind, let's go back to building. Can't remember what we needed in here, so let's just put everything in. Okay, so we want to be building a shipyard core. Could just put it off this side where we're doing nothing with it at the moment. Yeah, that will work just for the moment. And it is telling we've got enough to do it, so let's apply that change. We do need another ship dock. I think I might add one onto this side here. How many ore plates have we got? Do need to keep some resources. Okay, yeah, we'll just apply that change. What would another dock cost over here? I've got enough for it. And if we need to, we could always put another drone over this side. But I think 2 drones is more than enough for a base. We'll have them both doing titanium eventually. Let's apply that change. So this is the new ship I'm going to be building, putting over here and having this as a port. Need to rename that one back to my priority port. And there we can build ships. So very nice. Let's go and have a look at the shipbuilder. Now it's finding where it is. Well, that room over there I can't get to, so I'm just going to clear that off. Which is this one here. Confirm it. And then let's just take everything back. Just because if we're building ships, we're going to need resources. Now I've got those nickel plates back, I should be able to build the belt I want on this side. So rotate from the box, coming up. And then we want it to go into there. Because this machine is slowing everything down at the moment. I get 2 feeds, so it's twice as fast. Okay, let's go and find our shipbuilder. Just want to see how this is doing with the ice. Okay, so this has cleared all the ice out now, so it's got nothing else to make. I think I'll leave it up just for the moment. How are you doing with nickel here? The drones are sitting there, so that means they've run out of nickel. So what I'm just going to do is tell them to go and find any local silica before we send them on to doing titanium, but we'll move it into a different position because this is not really set up to do titanium. And then let's look in the box. Yep, good amount of nickel in there when we need it, and we'll have a load of silica in here as well soon, which we haven't collected yet. Just make sure this all works. Okay, that ship's a little close, but that will work. Just want to make sure this is working. Ah, okay, I never saw. If you look on the left-hand side here, it actually tells you what you can mine. So they can only mine 206 silica in the area. They've run out of all the water, they've run out of all the nickel, and then all that's left is titanium. So I never paid attention to that. So yeah, we've got some silica coming in. We'll just have it stored in this box for the moment. That's my ship there, so this will be my shipbuilder on this side, I think. So if it's like the other one, it means I'm going to have to put all the resources in the dock to be able to build anything. And now we're into a shipbuilder. So this ship is going to be more of a mining ship. We could go and adjust one of our existing designs. You can actually save, if you go back to the main menu, that you can build your ships before you even come into the game. So that's something I probably will do. So we'd want a small habitat. We'd also want some thrusters on the back. We need a reactor. We need a docking station. If it's a mining ship, it doesn't need a workstation. Windows is just a bonus. So we'll start with that. Piloting, we will need a cockpit. So let's put the cockpit on. It's not going to be the most snazzy ship because we haven't really got the technology. What else would I need? I would need thrusters on the back. And I do definitely want some sort of mining. So this one here is damage 2 times 1. That doesn't have a damage per seconds. We won't need a tractor beam because we'll be collecting from stations. But we definitely want a plasma gun. Oh yeah, you've got this up and down system you need to do. Ah, there. So there's different levels. So we'll go back down to the base level. So we've got some guns on the top, just so it can defend itself. We won't need a mining laser on here because it's not going to go do mining. It's just going to go to a station. So the only other thing we would need to work is thrusters. So let me just take the weapons down, piloting, put the thrusters up. And we'd also need a reactor. So I would need another ab behind it just to fit the reactor on. I'm actually tempted to put 2 abs. Which means I would need to go up here. There is a key for it. I will find the key binding. But I'm thinking I want a couple of thrusters on the back. Oh, okay. So these go on the side. Okay. That's even better. I want my little ships to be fast. Okay. So I'm on the wrong level. Let's go down to the base level. I think at the moment, just a couple of thrusters. Flip it. So that means I don't need this. Just as a basic ship. Okay, so that one needs to go as well. Not in the right place. So I need the thrusters connected to the side. So we've got a couple of thrusters. We'll need a reactor on there, which will need to be up a level. I think that will do as a base, as just a little teleporter. It's got a gun to defend itself. It's got a couple of thrusters so it won't be too slow. Shame you can't put the thrusters off the side of the reactor, but it doesn't look like that's... It needs one of these ports here. I could probably do that, but that just looks silly, to be honest. Could put another one on the back. Eventually I will go 2i and have 2 sets of thrusters, but just on my basic ship. And I want to save that design. So we want to save this as a basic cargo ship. Now, it does tell us everything we need there. I don't know if I've got all the materials. I'll probably need a lot more magnetic coils. But let's save that ship. And if you go to the open menu, all the ships you save are in here. So that's the ship I would want to design. So we've designed our ship. Now, how do we build it? Is it for this menu here to build? Construct a new ship. So if we want to construct a basic, it's telling me I'm missing some hull plates. I'm missing 2 lightweight frames, and I'm missing about 28 magnetic coils. So let me go and get them all together. Okay, we're back at the shipyard dock. Now, I think I've got the resources to make it. I have. Construct the ship. Okay, so it has created a new ship. It's out here in the back. I wonder where it had got to be honest. So the new ship, we should be able to control the same as we did with the other. So we want to add a destination with that, and we want you to go to, not the shipyard. Actually, I need to rename where I've got my other ship. Otherwise, this is going to get really confusing. Let's go to where my ship is, which is here. And this station dock is going to be... So I'm just going to call it the Prime Ship Dock. And I think I'm going to change my station. Just not feeling it. Yeah, that looks better. Something a bit different. Let's change it around a bit. So this is the Prime Dock, so we can go to the new ship and tell them not to go to Prime Ship Dock. I just want you to go to the shipyard. And then put your autopilot on. Now I just need to remember where I put the shipyard. I think it was over here. We come and look out the window. We could probably see it coming in. Let's have a look on the map. How close is it? Showing it's all the way out here. It's not showing it moving. And I did come up with a bug but it's down to user error. So if you look at my blueprint, it's got a couple of abs, got a couple of thrusters, it's got a reactor on the top, it's got a cockpit. It has no docking collar. If it doesn't have a docking collar, it can't dock. And that's the issue I was coming with, where the ship was in the middle of nowhere, and I was trying to figure out what was going on with it. But that's why I forgot to do it in my blueprint. And I want to save you as basic. So yeah, if you ever get that issue where your ship spawns in the middle of nowhere and you can't figure out why, that's why. We apply the changes. For the basic cargo, open up. Let's, I think it's overwritten it. So let's see if that works this time. So the ship I actually built in the middle of nowhere, so I'm going to disassemble that ship. It doesn't actually tell me which one I'm disassembling, so I'm hoping I've disassembled the right one. Put some more plates in there just in case. Let's have a look on the map. So yeah, we still got our scout ships, that's fine, it doesn't delete that. Then construct a new ship. The basic cargo ship. Construct the ship. Now this should appear behind me. Brilliant, it's working now. Autopilot to your new ship. Add a destination. And we want this to go to the station dock, not the shipyard. And then make sure you turn your autopilot on. That should be leaving from behind me. I'm pressing the wrong keys for some reason. So yep, that's now gone. And it should be docked, and then I should be able to change the name of it. This base, I think, is way too big than what it needs to be, really. Yeah, basically a titanium research facility, and then with a little bit of power going in here. It was never meant to be as big as I've got it. So I might adjust it down, move the docks around with the ships. So in that case, I want to get all my resources out the shipbuilder, put them all in the station, and then have a little bit of a play around with the station. So all these, I'm not building another ship at the moment. Eventually, I might need more ships than one coming to here, but we can deal with that at a later date. And I can rename the shipyard dock. And we'll call this one Titanium Shipyard Dock, because this is going to be our titanium base. Just need to make sure we never delete these ones with stuff in. The ports over here can be deleted, so let's make sure we've got all the resources out of here. So yeah, it's telling me there's only titanium in the area, so this dock port can be moved. The drones to, I think, that side, and then we want to put this station somewhere else. So again, put all your stuff in your station if you want to be building. Probably need some lightweight frames or some magnetic coils or something if I want to be doing too much to this. So currently the ones we're using, we have the shipyard dock, which we don't desperately need the shipyard dock now. We've built an extra one. But we'll just keep it for the moment, just so I've got one. This is the prime dock. This is the one we've got with the additional ship. And I want to be deleting this one, I think. Because that's not really doing it. I want it in a better position. So I want to move this somewhere else. Probably up the edge here. So the command module. If you want to build another one, you connect the second one on. It does say that it will allow me to build it. And then you exit. And then if I want to build this one, what I do then is I have to... That is in a terrible place. But we can move some of these machines around. I mean, you could be more in the center of the room. You don't need to be there. If we're going to be having stuff coming from this side and that side, the dock port I had over here is now gone. So the belts I had here can come up. I should have really took them up first. I'm assuming this will give me all the resources if I just break it, but I'm not taking the chance. That silicon we just put on the ship for the moment, I think. I don't want to put it in here because that will be feeding in here. But there's no ice to feed in here at the moment. But we probably put a ship dock here to have the ice fed in. But we could just bring this from another site anyway to feed this machine. So I've just got too many things going on in my head at the moment. So that one's not going to be a good placement where I've got all these. We could move this assembler to that corner. But then we'll have to figure out how to feed in and then feed out to the research. But I do think you're better off being in the centre. And it wouldn't be that hard to transfer that belt over. Let's take out whatever's in here. Make sure we cancel the recipe. And then we want to... You can't move it by the looks of it, but it looks like you can cancel. And then rebuild somewhere else. So this one probably needs to go as well. I've just got to remember which one that was. I think it was the assembler. Because I'm sure that's the refinery there. So we'll have you in the centre because, again, we're going to be feeding from this over. And then we'll just reset up the belts. We could feed it into both sides. It doesn't really... I don't think it makes much of a difference. So I would need more nickel plates for that to happen. Okay, so I can't walk between machines there, so I have to be careful I don't block myself in. We should have a load of nickel plates on our ship. Just have you feeding in one. That'll work. Now, I think I need to reset this up to what it's making. And this was making all plates. And I'll keep the spare all plates we had on us. That's fine. And then I don't want you to come out this side. We'll have a belt on this side. Actually, no, because the way the machine's set up. We'll rotate the machine, I think, is going to be the better option. So, science lab, we want the port coming out this side now. Like that. Then we want to build the belts out from here. Up to there. Turn into the machine. And then that will start the research up again. Now, talking of research, we finished silicon plating. We don't need to do that. Now, the basic circuits only needed silicon. Do I want to do that or servo motors? Let's look at servo motors. I think that's the one I want to do. It's only 15 research. I am going to try and add this into the queue. I know the queue was playing up, but I think they've fixed it now. We'll see if the servo motors change from the top. So we've got our production back up and running. And this side here is going to become a drone bay very soon. And then we can feed the drone bay into an assembler. Which would be better on this side, the assembler. Because the assembler then could just feed straight into the machine. And then the science could feed out this side. So yeah, I'm going to just have a quick change. Just trying to future-proof it a little bit. Until we can get the servos, and then we'll have to redo everything again, I'm pretty confident. So, rotate round, coming out this side, and then we're just going to do the same process. We could have it feeding out that side. It doesn't need to feed in here. And then we can have it coming out this side. So a belt like that. Up to this corner. I mean, does it need to be out here? Yeah, that's fine. Just in case I want to put a box here to split it off. So we could do a splitter here. Have half the stuff going into a box. Because we haven't actually got a box set up for the all plates. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So we'll just go up to there. We haven't used the splitter yet, so let's use one. Which is you, which would need lightweight frames. So in that case, let's just do belts for the moment. And it is quite intuitive, the belts. They do sort of understand what you're trying to do. That getting the basic circuits. Oh, okay, so the servo motors is no longer there. Have we researched that already? Let me just quickly look. Apparently so. So it is working now, the queue. So what would one want after basic circuits? A basic circuit's going to allow us to do... Probably that's too big. Warp fuel, I'm not interested in warping yet. Probably something like solar panels would be good, and then we don't have to rely on power anymore. We've got a sun out there, but it's all the time. Container modules would be good, but you would need basic circuits to unlock all these. Maybe we won't be able to do the second part of it. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna remove that. We'll just do the stuff with the basic stuff. Get them out the way first. So I think getting down this path would be good, getting to the large stations, because those would be better suited for little mini bases, I think. So yeah, we'll add you to the queue. What did you need? I think you will... Okay, so you won't let me to put you to the queue. But I think it should automatically. But yeah, we're blasting for the research at the moment because we've got lots of all plates. Anything that just needs basic, I think I'm just going to do. Do the ship armor. And we do station armor. Probably not going to use any of that anytime soon, but let's just set up some research to keep everything going in the background. And then off here, once we've changed it, we could just have a little processor up here. And then that processor to immediately go. We'd have to do copper into ores, but then we could feed that. Yeah, that's fine. Copper plates would come into here. That's making the ore, and then the ore can go out there. So I'm happy with that. So let's move this one, and now we should be able to get up into this corner, into this one. And this is where we could put some more drone docks. Because that's the next thing I want to be doing, is replacing and get a second drone up. So now we can destroy this because we're currently in this one here. Now, all this stuff down here I don't really need. I think the only one with something in is that. So let's just have a redo of the old station. So I think a 4 block's going to be more than big enough for a station. And then we'll move some of the ship stuff over here. So we want another drone directly opposite that because it's going to be the easiest way to feed in. I'm watching my resources, so I'm going to apply that change. We do need 2 ship docks, but I think I'm going to move the ship docks onto here and here. And we could also move probably the ship builder onto here. So, docks, and then we just have to rename them again. That's not too hard. So we'll have you on that side, and we'll have another ship dock here. And then I want to remove you. Ah, okay, so we need to remove the ships off them, but we can send them to the new ones. That's fine. We don't need any of this, but we need to remove the ships, I think, to be able to do that. So we'll cut these 4 out, I think. We don't need them on this station. It was only temporary, going to be a small one. And we'll see if we can put the shipyard on this side here. Not certain if it'll go. Well, it's telling me it will. We'll block a little bit of the view from the command center, but that's fine for the moment. Just want a small compact base. And if I build this base and everything, 4 small rooms, 2 drone ports, 2 ship docks, 1 for us, 1 for somebody else. And then we won't need this at every single station. We'll just move it to wherever we're going to be building stuff. So it is telling me that's going to cost me 5 more wall plates than I've got available. So in that case, let's just remove the shipyard at the moment. We're not building another ship right now. Apply the changes. And then we want to get rid of these 2 and these 4 rooms. That will get us some resources back. Okay, so we're currently in the shipbuilder. So these are going to be the new... So we'll just rename this one to be Prime. We can get things set up on here really quick. Then we can move on to the next one. Okay, we've unlocked the ladder and it's automatically moved to ship armor. So let's just have a look at that research queue. So we've got 2 things in there at the moment. We can add station elevators now to it. It's allowing me to do that. Just try and get all the basic research out. Ship armor's being done, ladders, and then everything else looks like it's going to be advanced after that. And I think the next one I would want is something like that. Because that would be a great... But it won't allow me to build it at the moment. So yeah, you're going to be Prime. And this one over here... We'll set this one to be renamed as Titan Dock 1. So now we just need to change the autopilot to the ships and then we can move them ships over. So the scout ship, I want you to now go to Prime. And let's make sure your autopilot's enabled. The new ship, I want you to be going to Titan Dock. And if we have a look at the map, we should be seeing our ships. Now let's disassemble. We're seeing our ships moving around. So we've had a look. There's the ship there. And we can also see a ship here. So that means them old ship docks we can remove. Let's just make sure we're not going to destroy anything when I remove stuff. So you currently do have this. So I only want to remove 3 parts on there. And then the 2 ship docks. We'll leave this. Well, this is not really doing anything here at the moment, to be honest. So, yeah, let's get rid of all this. Because as soon as I moved up to solar panels, then I'm not going to be needing these machines. And that's one of the technologies I do want to push. How are you doing for resources? So you're down to 12. So this base is not going to be running for much longer without getting our eyes set up. So that's the next thing I want to be doing. Let's make sure, yep. So I can remove four blocks. And then we could use that resources to go and build another base somewhere else. Probably ice is the next one I want to be setting up. So let's go into the deconstruct. We can deconstruct. Come on. It's deconstruct you. Deconstruct you. You. And you. So now we've got a nice big compact base here. We've got 2 docks. One for us. One for a sort of going back and forward. I would like another dock, I think, here. And docks are fairly cheap. Now, this is going to be called probably Titan Dock 2. And at the moment, I'll probably have this doing fuel to this site. Because we could put the reactor anywhere. It doesn't need to be in that corner. The reactor could be up here. That's fine. We'll reorganize the reactor. And we get 44 oil plates back in the process. So let's apply them changes. And now the new station. 2 docks. Plenty of space. We've still got space to come from here. This is going to be a drone dock. And the power source Where is our power source? Ah, that's the reactor power source. So at the moment, I'm just going to take them out. And I'm going to get rid of this and reorganize it into a better position. Gives us a bit more room to play around here if we want to do more titanium stuff. And we still got plenty of room. Probably only need 2 stations wide, but we'll go with the 4. I can live with that. Now, these ports can have the reactor here. We want to rename this to Titan Dock 2, just so we know what we're dealing with. Ah, that's Prime, so that's not the one. Titan Dock 2 is this one here. This is where I want the reactor by. Okay, Titan Dock 2 there. And this one's not going to be that hard. We could actually put the reactor over here. I think that's going to be better. Like I said, it doesn't need to be connected to anything. So we'll have the reactor there. Then we have to have a refinery. So I'm just going to set this up ready. So I don't have to come back here. Am I going to need the back ports? I don't think I am. I mean, it would be able to speed up. So yes, we will do the back ports. We want this to be going into a box. And this is Titan 2 is at the moment going to be bringing ice over here. But actually, no, it's better to... We don't need a reactor here. Because it's better to, at the ice station, to make the ice and then just ship out the completed ones. So put one belt there. And put one belt there. This can now go. So I'm just thinking out loud in my head. That can go, and the reactor can go up here. That's even better. Because all this one's going to do is bring in the completed fuel cells. Fuel cells are going to be stored in the box, get the ship unloaded. Then the ship's going to go back and do something else. So yeah, we'll have the reactor. I think it can go nice and neat in that corner. Let's see if I can get this set up right with the belt. So I would only want a belt like that. And then this one here, I don't want it to join if possible. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. I might have to bring it out this one to do that, what I want. So I want this one to go there. No, that works perfect. So I'll be bringing the fuel cells in both belts. And both of them are going here as a storage box. So this one here, and we set it to the unload yet. So I only want this one at the moment to be unloading fuel cells, because that's all I'm going to be sending to this base. And that's a nice basic setup. We've got plenty of room here to expand. And this one... Is this Prime Dock? No, this is Titan Dock 1. So ideally, Titan Dock 1 would really be where the drone station is here. We could just literally try to do this same setup on the other side. So research has stopped at the moment because we've got no power. Got a little bit, we could probably take out the ship, but we do need to go and get that ice station set up. So let's say hello to our drones. And this one here, because there's only... Okay, there's a little bit of water ice in this area. We'll just tell them to collect that water ice first. It's probably because I've moved the station to a different part, so now it's getting access to it where before it didn't. That'll be fine. Okay, so what do I want out here? We definitely want the storage box solution, because I think that's the best way. No. Put it back one. We only need that one space. put 2 single belts in, going the other way. Then anything in there will come into here. Where do we want to take this? I think this station's just way too big for what I need. We could just make this into just titanium plates, nothing else. Because at the moment I haven't really got a setup for titanium plates. Ah, I forgot. This is the outputs, isn't it? This one's going to be picking up titanium plates. So yeah, that's right. This one's to be able to pick up titanium and all. So I want that on a separate to what I've got over there. So I would want a couple of assemblers here, really. So the refinery is the one that does the titanium plates. Okay, so that's a bit close to do it there. Trying to get... Okay, I haven't got the building materials to make it. So what do I need to make the refineries? Magnetic coils and everything now. So let me go and get them topped up. Okay, so we're back. So let's build another refinery. Just making sure there's enough space. Yeah, 1 space should be enough to get the belts. Maybe... If it's going straight into it, one I think is enough. So at the moment, this is bringing in... It's done all the water ice, so I'm going to change this to titanium now. Take the water ice. I'm just going to send that to the ship just to start making some fuel. Okay, so let's get some belts on here. So what's in here at the moment? Nothing. Ah, it's because it's turned off. Let's turn it back on for titanium. So we want the belts to be the other way. And then the second port will come into this second refinery. Which is probably easy if I do it out this side. To there. To there. Won't draw anything until I set up the recipes, so we want these two to be doing titanium plates. Now, realistically, I could do with four doing it, really. And then I can move 2 into doing all plates. And then we could have a box here and here. Okay, we'll go with the 3. I should really be looking at how much production I can get out these machines, really. We'll go there. I want a belt coming up the side here. I'm in the way, that's why it's gone. Oh no, I'm out of materials again. No. It was me standing in the way again. Turn that like that. Then we're going to have a box here to collect titanium plates. And then this is what's going to be feeding into Dock 1. I'm going to come over here, collect maybe 500 plates, 500 all plates, and then we can take them to another site. So then you have to be fed into this port here. Let's rotate you up to that corner. Then I want you to rotate to there. And then I want to rotate in the machine. Will 3 be able to... Well, you're going to be going into direct plates. I think just as 1. I think 1 going into all plates is enough. We could put splitters on and all that sort of stuff. Could also put another one here. But how would I get that belt from there to here? Not easy without merging lines. Let's set you up to titanium plates. At least then you can start. That's fine, that will work. Both of them feeding into one. I could bring it across one so that port's not directly affecting, which might be a better idea. Again, I'm just playing this by ear. I'm not looking at the numbers at the moment, but eventually I will. And then that's going to feed into that. And now we've just got to get stuff fed into that machine. Now, this one can go back, which I'm not against. So, yeah, let's go and deal with this. That means you will have to be moved, and you. Actually, let's move these two as well. Because I've got a better idea. So the back belt from there, rotate. Let's try that again. Back belt from there. And go up to that port there. Rotate into this machine. So that will feed in the back of this. We'd want you to come out of the machine to there. Rotate into there, and then that goes in the machine. So let's set these recipes up. So you're going to be making titanium plates. And you're going to be making all plates. We've got the research for like the basic circuits, which is nickel and wave. That's going to be at another site, nickel. We also have the servo motors, which would need magnetic coils. So we'll probably do the research at another place, really. We've got enough of the basic research done. I would like to finish that ship armor, though. Now, we could move you across one. And then that will leave a little bit of path in here. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. As long as I can get a line into here what doesn't affect. So up to there, put a pinpoint, rotate into the machine, and then build. So yeah, that line and this line don't affect each other. This can be done for titanium. That will start feeding the stuff out the machine. And I don't think I set this one up for all. Apparently I did. Oh, it's because it's it won't make the stuff with no power. That's fine. We'll get everything threaded up. The power we'll deal with in pretty soon. So that belt set up, and then we just need something to come from this machine. We could have two machines making plates, but no, I'm happy with the one. And I would want another storage here. This isn't going to be feeding out very fast, so one line from here. Rotate it. Okay, so I'm insufficient building material, so what am I missing now? I am missing nickel plates. So let's go and see if we've got any anywhere. Okay, so I am totally out of nickel, so we do need to get that sorted soon. So we'll have to mine some on the way to the next site. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is just put this right up here. It's not ideal, but everything is set up to do titanium there, and everything's set up to do all there. And this is on a separate system to all this here, which is going all into research this side. Now, talking of research, where did we put our reactor? Because I do have a little bit of fuel so we can finish that chip armor research before we leave here. Just checking the boxes of what we got in. So nothing in here. This is the one that's set up for Titan docks. That's fine. And we did set it up for ice, didn't we? Yep, the energy cells. And because we're out of nickel, I can't actually set up the next. Oh no, that's our ship. And then this is the next one here. But we have got enough boxes to start storing stuff. So I think we've done enough at this station. I think we need to move to another station and get a setup for power to bring into this base. And I think that's where I'm going to call it on this episode. The first base we've got set up, we've done as much as we can until we can get the power sorted. So in the next episode, we will be going over and making a brand new station. And we'll also have a look at setting up a link between the two stations where a ship can automatically do the power supplies for us. But hopefully you're enjoying the series, and I'll see you all again in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.